Hey, what's going on? Let me test some things. Ish. Test, test, test. All right. Good morning, Japan time. All right, what are we doing? Yo, check out this sky right here. It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. All right. Let me know how the sound sounds. We got a little setup here, a mobile rig, if we may. Man. I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. I had to set the alarm. I went to bed at 12. I'm saying I'm getting up doing this at 5:30, so that means I got my 5 hours in. Oh man, let me wake up. I'm not even a morning person like that. Oh, if I don't get my sleep. Good morning. What's going on, Ice Beam? What time is it where you are? If it's morning here, that means it's night for most other people. Maybe I gotta flip it. Maybe I'll do this at night. It'd be morning. Yeah. Man, I'm gonna get some Mount Fuji water. 4 p.m. Kyo maybe. All right, so some people are probably working right now. Yeah, we'll figure out the time. All right, let's get ready for a walk. Oh man, man, waking up. So I'm on vacation now, right? That means I got the morning to myself. We're gonna start with this little. Yeah, I'm at the end of my shift. Pretty slow today. Not complaining. So you're working like a 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 7 to 3, maybe a 9 to 5. So we're supposed to be having a typhoon right now. I didn't even know that, but they were saying that yesterday. But the typhoon clearly isn't here, and I'm not complaining. 9 to 5. Is it your dream job? You loving it? I, I mean, I like teaching. Teaching is it's alright. I don't say I think it's my dream job. I mean, it has some parts of being a dream job. I get to teach and mold young people. I get to influence a direction. I do my little part in global communications. These things I could look someone in the eye and say. But there's a lot of what do you call it? Protocol rules in Japan, which I don't think I'll ever like, and it kind of spills over into the job, like stuff. I mean, there's no growth. That's the biggest thing. I could literally be doing exactly what I'm doing now for the next 20 years, unless I go private and have my own school, which career is good, could be tedious. I'm a technical writer. Dream was the chemistry, but too much advanced math. Oh, math. If I could wrap my head around math, math is like in everything. There's math in music. I was telling someone the other day, and they're like, "What do you mean there's no math in music?" I didn't want to bore them, and I didn't. We're talking online or in text. When we met up, I gave him a really simple example. You know, 4/4 meter beats on every quarter notes, da 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 da. Like, ah, I get it. But it gets deep. It gets like chords. Like music is math. And if you could understand that, now I don't know if your music would be beautiful or better because of math. It might get more, it might lose something. Like right now, I'm playing around with chords. Sometimes I just be hitting random chords and I get some interesting accidents. If I was doing it mathematically, it'd probably always be what it's supposed to be. It might sound too formulaic, but that might work. You don't know. I don't know. I mean, I was doing when I was reading. They talked about the Swedes, and they talked about how they developed melodic math. And melodic math is where they would interesting accents. Yeah, it's you need a balance. That's why you get like musicians who can't read music, but they still are able to make better music than someone who's classically trained. Because when you're classically trained, you don't make those mistakes because you know better. But at the same time, if you're music classically trained, you can do what you got to do every time. There's no issue like reading sheet music. But melodic math was developed in Sweden. Apparently, the whole country's full of these amazing. Look at the puppy! Amazing people who make music. So, um, for those who do music, a lot of our programs are coming from that area of the world. Reason, that's all I could think of. Ableton's Germany, um, and so on. Anyway, melodic math. They have certain amount of words per whatever. It's been a minute since I read the book. It's kind of fuzzy, but the overall thing is they take words and they put them into kind of like for example, if the first part is ta 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 ta, then the next part has to follow ta 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 ta. We do that in poetry. Keep the meter, but they figured out how to apply this to music. And since they're not native English speakers, they came up with these interesting accidents. For example, they wrote the song Britney. Do you even know Britney Spears? Yeah, I got a friend he's younger than me. I don't know how old everyone is. I assume you're around my age, around there, according to Google. But I always be like, you know what I'm talking about? Because I don't know. Because when I was working with my models, I'd be like, yeah, Usher. Like who? Usher? Like huh? You know the one guy that was in the Chris Brown video with the weird hat on? Oh, that guy. It's weird. But anyway, so Britney Spears, "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." A native person wouldn't have wrote that because it's kind of it feels or sounds like some domestic violence. But when they wrote it, they weren't thinking domestic violence. They're thinking on some "hit me, baby," like "call me back." What's his name? Martin, Max Martin. I'm sure you heard of him. But basically, they just came up with that formula. I mean, as a native, it's weird. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, baby, baby. The book was weird. It just kind of went into all that. They wrote songs for Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, Rihanna. Yeah, so Sweden, melodic math. So I was thinking maybe I could apply melodic math to Japan. So the concept is you don't really focus on the words so much, you focus on the structure of it. So Japanese people may not say what I'm going to say because they're Japanese. They know their language. But me being a foreigner, my abuses of it may make some happy accidents. I think that is what happened. I got a song called Gambare. Gambare, gambare, gambare. You know what's crazy? I got this in my hand, and I got this, and I want to drink it, but I can't open it with one hand. Uh, I'm gonna have to stop somewhere. But the way I'm set up, I could play music, so I might play some music. Uh, th- 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 I should open it before I started, but I want to be able to close it. I was gone, gone, gone. I love Gambare from a long time ago. Yo, that was a classic example of a backwards. No Japanese person would sing that phrase over and over again. And the way I was saying it, they don't say gambare, they say gambate. Gambate. Or they say other forms of that. But what my way of saying it was the way I came to come with it. And I just kept singing it over and over again. Yeah, 2010. Wow, man. Yeah. I don't know if you know the verses. I don't really watch the verses, but if there was someone who made music since, I guess there's some people who are making music. We could do like a verses, or we could do like a YouTube verses where we play videos from. I mean, I can't, in the sense that I'm the worst person to keep track of data. I wouldn't have my videos unless they were online, and I'd have to like download them. We just play video for video, like Cooney, Tokyo Cooney, like those, like all those. Like verses is pretty clever. It's like American Idol or like Glee, a vehicle to get people to listen to music, or Empire, or the average person is like, oh, it's a new show, and but they're listening to the music over and over again, and it makes them kind of interested in the the people they listen to, and then they could push out a CD or album or something. Really clever, 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 clever. And then you get money all different types of ways. You got the music, then you got the the, the video, and then what's happening? My phone vibrating. Watch, I forgot to set it. Let me set. Let me stop real quick. All right, we'll stop when we get down there. Find a place to stop. The first song I heard of yours is when you did a mix of Enka. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, that was the first song my. Then you know, Ayaka, because she would have been in the picture. Her mom, I was like, yo, I want to remix some Japanese song. And her mom's like, why don't you do this one? And since her mom said that's the one to do, that's the one I did. So this a 10, and I killed it. I was there. All right, we're gonna have to set this down for a second. Enjoy the sky. All right, here's my water, and then let me set my watch. All right, continue. I did set it. All right, here we go. All right, we got our water. And the jersey was her dad's. It was the Osaka Hansen Tigers from Osaka, yellow. And I was performing in Ikebukuro at this club who was being managed, or this dude was called Yen. He was a troublemaker. Like, he had the spirit of a foreigner. Like, he just didn't care. But his like this dude, right? He happened to look like a Japanese terrorist. Like, there was some accident, terrorist-looking accident in Japan, and he happened to look like him. And what this dude did, he got up on the social media and he pretended to be the person who was who was the terrorist, to promote his event. Now you say that's fucked up, but that's what Rick Ross did. That's what I mean in hip hop. You take someone who did bad things and you take their name or their identity and you flip it. Or like all the drug dealers. There's a verse from Busta Rhymes. He's like on a Rick Ross song. He's like Pablo Escobar's daughter. I get that. It is just weird to hear him saying it because he's like, basically, I get the drugs from her daughter and they don't want to pay me then. But that's what we do as hip hop. Not all, but. So he was taking that as a foreigner and flipping it, but it's Japan. And so he got a lot of hate and he explained it. And I'm like, I know what you're doing, but it's Japan. So when people would, and on his flyer, it would be like, the flyers would be like, come to the spot. It's a safe place. You don't need to be worried. I'm like, dude, you don't need to put that on a flyer. That makes it sound even more sketchy. But that was his thing, and people kind of followed him, which all this ties into the book I read, Psychopaths. He had some psychopathic traits. And people like psychopaths, apparently. Like all those people who they fall in love with people on death row or the violent crime offenders, and they write letters to them and they want to love them and they support them from the outside of jail, prison. They exist. Or even our fascination with like, what's his face, Hannibal Lecter or Jeffrey Dahmer. Like they get these massive TV programs or movies and people watch it. I don't think I ever watched Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lamb, but I did watch some Saw. Uh, and I for like 3 seconds I was watching Caterpillar. Caterpillar, I think it's called Caterpillar. That shit is. I watched the first one and I thought the second one would like make more sense, but it's that shit's fucked up. Wow, it's pretty cool to learn the history of song because it seems if we're still on the Gambare, in the song you can hear Aika's voice because she was with me when I made the song. She goes ah, it's still in there. Yo, I was thinking the other day, I was ahead of my time, before my time. I mean, that's just how I am. I'm always doing that. If I would have came out now in the TikTok era, in the Snapchat, like now is that kind of immediacy. So I probably would be. Well, I think I would probably be more popular because I could ride a wave, but I would probably burn out quicker because right now if you're trying to for most part if you're trying to get on social media you're trying to be like famous or popular and it's not going to happen overnight or if it does it's fleeting where I'm a kind of a slow burn. I just took my time because I didn't know there was any. I mean I did know I had some friends who were like trying to school me back in the day. Like one of my friends he hit me up early. He's like, yo, you got to get the tags right, man. But the way he approached it, he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You got to put like Justin Bieber. This is back in the day when you could tag things, the wrong thing, just to get traffic. And he was showing me the charts and the analytics. And again, it's just the way he was saying it. Why would I want to put Justin Bieber in my video tags or titles when there's nothing to do with him? It feels like I'm deceiving people. But that was one way to get things. Thumbnail game. Like there would be people back in the day. You can change the thumbnail. It just picked and it picked the first, the last, or directly in the middle. So if you timed it right, you could stick a crazy ass thumbnail and get traffic that way. Short videos, just it loops and loops and loops. And if it's like all the little tricks. So I kind of knew how to trick the system. I just never did. But yeah, that like now when I look like I'm on my Insta and Facebook. I see all types of people doing it because it's so easy. Get a phone and start yapping, and then follow whatever trend. And just zoom off. Like the dude who does the videos in Japan, he just walks around shooting HK videos, HK, HD videos, 4K, 4K HD videos. I think he got up to 8K maybe. He doesn't do any talking, from what I could see, and his comments are just filled with, "Man, I wish I could come to Japan. Man, that looks so beautiful. Man, Japan is like did it," and he's getting like millions of views. I don't know the rest of it, but that's I wouldn't have thought of that because I'm me. I want to be right up in the middle of my thing. But yeah, all right. Let me talk about this book real quick because I just finished it. So, Surrounded by Psychopaths, which is a continuation of Surrounded by Idiots, and it's the first one is how to understand people. The second book, again, it's written backwards. How to make sure people don't abuse you, and it's dark. The first one would be like Harry Potter 1, all light and fuzzy. The second book was like Harry Potter 6, like just death, or 5, I don't know, dark. It almost seemed like dude got his shit flipped because he talked about how his wife at the time was a psychopath and she took the kids from him and she started spreading rumors and just flipped his shit. So it just seemed like he was really writing from personal experience, and that's just it'd be like if my heart was broken, I would make a whole album like Heartbreak, like Kanye did. We're artists or we're creatives. He's a writer, so we'll call him a creative. So a lot of it was just dark, but like it's true. There's some really fucked up people. It's not even fucked up. Psychopaths. Certain people are just wired in a certain way where they want to hurt, harm, destroy the people around them. And the book just spent a lot of time talking about how they do that using his framework. And it's scary. It's scary. Like, uh, like I'm not gonna go into it so much. This is a dark book, but pushing buttons. You know someone is. You know someone doesn't like to be shouted at, so you shout at them, and it puts them into a compliant nature. Everyone knows that one. That's typical. But then there's other ways. Every color. Well, let me just go through the colors way. A red person would shout at people. They would use their dominance to do that. A yellow person would backhandedly get you to do something like, "Oh, you got a nice shirt. Can you help me?" Like compliment you, make you feel good, ingratiate you, kiss your ass. A while ago, my boss, he's not my boss, but he's the person that calls me when I'm in trouble, boss like. So he calls me up and I got to go to the office, and I'm in the office. And we had some issues to talk about, but he starts off with, "So, how are you doing? Da, 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 da." He once said, "I heard that you have a YouTube channel." And he's just talking like that. And I'm like, dude, like this situation was serious. I don't go to the office for any other reason, usually. So I get there and I'm just like, "I'm not here to be your friend. Let's just get to what we got to get to." And this would go on anytime he calls me. Like, he would call me up. He's like, "What do you be doing, Matthew?" It's just what it is. And he'd be like, "So how you doing?" I'm like, "You don't need to ask me that. You know how I'm feeling right now. You're calling me, and I don't like it when you call me. And you just get to your point. Don't try to be my buddy because we're not buddies." But that's his personality, and it would work And I once asked him, like, would you want me to ask you how you're doing? And and he's like, yeah, I would. Now, at the moment, at that time, I didn't understand that. But that is a way some people would like to do their business, you know, on some friendly terms. Me, just throw me in the water. If I sink, save me. If not, let me figure it out. But different approaches. Green people, they're passive aggressive. You know how that works more likely. And then blue people are, I'm a blue person. They're I forgot what they are. They're blue, but they data driven and all that. But then he talked about the weaknesses of the four colors. It's a 10-hour book, man. He just went in. And last night when I finished it, like, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, so that's the book. I do think I think people should read it because it's an interesting book. But yeah. So my date. The other day I went on a date, and I say it's a date because that's how they phrase it. Said, hey, we should. They said to me, we should go on a date. I've been out with people, but we never call it dates. And I'm like, what do you want to do? And they're like, I just want to walk and drink. And I was a little nervous because I don't drink. Walk, yes, I can walk, but the drinking part, I don't. I won't stop someone from drinking, but in my experience, it always goes south really quick when the alcohol be flowing. I mean, I was where was I? Just came back from the movies with. It was a date, but we didn't call it a date. Went to the movies, and she's the movie finishes, and we're like, so what do you want to do? She's like, why don't we go get something to drink? I'm like, I don't drink. She's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? I said, what do you mean? She's like, what do you do for fun? We just came from the movies, and she's like going in on me, and we never talked after that. But this has happened a lot of times. It almost makes me want to say, I drink, but I gotta work up. I gotta wake up early in the morning, so and they would be like, yeah, I get you. Or I gotta drive. But why should I lie? I'm just telling them I don't drink. But we met up at the station, and she, I told her, I took her on this. Actually, one day I'm gonna have to take you guys where we were walking. It's more scenic. I mean, this is scenic, quiet, peaceful, suburbs. But that was like the metro with the big tall buildings. But we were walking for like 2 hours, 2.5. Sometimes we talked, sometimes we sat there in silence. And I wasn't even thinking, oh shit, what should I say? It was cool. So every now and then we would hear or see some weird bird. And she would take out her phone and take a picture of it, like I would do. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. Or we'd hear this weird bird make a weird bird call. And then we look into the tree trying to see the bird. It was really cool. We talked about every now and then she threw out, so you got a brother? Do you play any sports? And I returned the question. It was cool. We walked, and then after 2 hours, I was getting kind of hungry. So I'm like, you wanna get some hot dogs? And I set it up. I said, there's a spot over here that's the best hot dogs in like Tokyo, because they are. By default, there's not many hot dog places in Japan. They don't even sell hot dog buns in Japan. So she's like, I'm warming her up. It's the best hot dog ever in the world. But I had to bring that back because there's a lot of better places. We walk over to the spot, and because of Corona, that shit is locked up. So I couldn't get the hot dog. And then we walk back to the station, and then at the end, she's like, "Can I go drink or can I smoke cigarettes?" And I'm like, "Sure." I was impressed that she seemed to be a smoker. I didn't ask her that. I don't really care if you smoke or not, but you know. And then she goes off and smoke, and then we go to the station, and she's like, "Okay, that's my train." And then she puts her hands up. I wish I could, like, imagine you're playing patty cake. So she puts her hands up like that. Now I don't know if that's a hug, because a while ago I just came from an event, and I was performing, rhyming mode. And at the end, I'm walking out with two artists. We're talking. We walk to the station, and then it's like, all right, well, it was nice meeting you. Da 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 da. And I go to give one of them a hug, and she moved back, like, clearly, like, who the hell are you to be hugging me? Her friend hugged me. That's why hug one, hug the other, but she wasn't having that. So I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. So I just like like just patty caked her hand. Yeah. And she said, it was a fun. Thanks for inviting me, or thanks for the whatever. Said thanks for coming. Then the next morning, good morning. And I made a video. If you follow me on Instagram, I made a video. That video, because I'm there. Let me do something real quick. Test out something. And then I sent it to her. Just this is what I did last night. She said, "Oh," and that was that. The rest of the day, nothing. So the next day, I'm like, "Hey." She's like, "Hey." Now this used to be a more what do you call it, fluid conversation, but that's not happening anymore, which is fine. I mean, she's cool and all, but she's not the one. It was nice. Like there was no pressure. Like that's the whole point of that. We're just two people enjoying each other's company, walking. I mean, I do like the fact that I had a walking buddy. Y'all are my walking buddies right now. We're walking and talking. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over to the river, this river, and we're gonna test out a setup real quick. This is almost like a podcast. It's podcast-ish. Only thing that's missing is the music, which I got. Got to be careful though. YouTube. I just got a video flagged on Instagram. It says we will no longer let this video, or this video has been blocked in some countries. Like that video been up for like a year and a half. I don't even care about it, but it does bother me. Cause I be doing my layouts, grid layouts. So when they pull a video, it messes up the layout. You know what I'm saying? It got to be 9 by 9. And I do some massive 12s. Like the little grid thing. I'm back where I saw that snake. There's, see this area. I'm not trying to see the snake, but I like to see the snake. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, it's a snake. I always wanted to go in there, like for whatever reason, playing, but there's snakes in there. There's I don't know how I did as a kid, but we used to play in the bushes, roll in the grass, jump in the leaves, go into abandoned buildings. But all those places, there's like things inside them. I don't think I could do that now. In the book, it talked about fear, worry, stress. Some people are like frozen by fear. Like, what am I afraid of? Uh, my nature, I don't like. I don't like being put in situations that I don't know what's going on. I'm flexible, but like if someone's like, "Hey, Matt," what would it be? What's a good example? Like, all right, I'm a teacher, right? They say on like I have a set schedule. So Monday I'll go to class B. I get there on Monday with my lesson plan for class B, and they're like, "Nah, this is class C. You gotta have a class C schedule." And it just, what do you mean? No, I don't. My feeling is if you didn't tell me, which they didn't, they just like this happens a lot, and that is what it is. But the school will have some schedules. They got like a yearly schedule. They tell me a month in advance, but they have the year schedule, so they forget to tell me what's happening. Like there might be a fire alarm practice thing or something, and so then the schedule switches. Everyone knows about it because they have a year schedule. I find out about it as I'm walking to the class, and I walk into the class, and the kids are like, they look at me, this is science class. And I got my schedule like, no, this is English class? They're like, no, it's science class. They all got their science books. Or I walk into a class and there's the math teacher. Like I literally walk in there and then I do my walk back out. And I sit at my desk and then the teacher might be like, oh yeah, the schedule changed. This stresses me. If a one time off, whatever. But if it happens frequently, it's like, come on now. And then I try to ask them for like, can I get the master schedule and can you like just give me an overview so I don't like I could figure it out if you give me the key. They don't give me the key. One lady, she was just like, uh, Monday is Getsiobi. This is the like woman I know the kanji for Monday, and it's where that's I understand that. Just tell me. So now she's making, and I appreciate what she's trying to do. Like she'll draw up these complicated systems. But I need the overall system, not the weekly system. I need the bird's eye view because obviously this is going to happen throughout the year. So that stuff stresses me out. But things outside of my control, I'm kind of okay with it. Like once I was going back home and Delta fucked. Well, I don't know who fucked up, but Delta's computers were down around the world. So they're doing all the flights by hand. So I was in the line for like 5 hours. But I'm like, whatever. I just pulled out my phone and started writing raps at their free time. Yo, it is really nice out here, man, as you can see. All right, we're gonna go this way. Actually, we're gonna go over to this park. We're gonna set up some music. We're gonna try that background music. Go for a little walk. I didn't charge my iPad, so it might die before the phone. Yo, anyone who's thinking about getting an iPhone, I mean, it depends what your usage is, but these batteries they last. After I did my 2-hour stream last week, the battery was still at 80%. 80%. Where before it was dying after like an hour and a half, just dying right in the stream. So that's what's good. And if you do watch videos, it's it's not the big screen, but I mean, I used to watch videos on a iPod uh, Nano or iPod Video. It's not good for your eyes. My eyes are probably feeling that because of that. But I feel like there's something on my arm, man. Something crawling on my arm. No freeloaders. Here, let me give you some panoramic. There's my shadow. just quiet and peaceful. When I was doing my running for like 3 seconds, I would run around right here, this kind of circle thing, and I would just run, do laps. I was thinking of not Iron Man, uh, Wonder Man, not Wonder Man, Winter Soldier. This is the right movie. Uh, Captain America. Is it Captain America? Yeah, when he was running around and the dude who played him Banker was like, "It's you again," but there was no one lapping me at that time. All right, here we go. I'm gonna have a little seat. See if I can see how the music sounds. All right, here we go. All right, so we got this. Okay, let's see if we can set up, see what's going on. All right, so we got all these wires connected. Let's see if it works. Ba-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. I don't even know what music I should. I don't got no music. Actually, let me show you this real quick. Can you see this? The moon? Yeah. What? I don't know what's going on there. We'll come back here. All right. So we're gonna come in. What's the best program? Let's try this one. Uh, this is the beat I was working on last night. It's not really podcast music beat, but it's my beat. Actually, let me know if you can hear the music. We're coming out from the iPad. All right, and we're gonna put it in like this. Yeah. Yeah, I made this track. I might have to switch channels, but you're gonna get this for now. I made this track on the train last night coming home from work. This, that's the move we do it. Like I be making beats at night, and I wake up. It needs a. So just a podcast. You're now tuned into the Rhyming Gaijin podcast. Waking up in the morning, walking around, drinking water, sponsored by Fuji. Shout out to all the people. But yeah, beats. That's actually the plan today. Because a while ago, when I was doing 40/40, or the album 40, I needed to get everything. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I need to get everything set up. And I was able to track out all the beats in like a day, like 35 beats. Just put them in the rap form, which I never do. I just kind of have them sitting until I need to do it. But I need to get the album. I want to send out beats to people. Blase, blase. So now I try to do that every week. Just anything I've been working on, put it into beat form. So then when I listen to it, I know where I know what's going on with it. Because the danger is like I'm on an iPad, right? So the iPad is not. I'm telling you, all I need right now is a system. I need to make it and then get it out as quickly as possible because it's hot. I think it's hot, but it's not going to be hot if it's just sitting inside of the iPad. It needs to be out and up. It has to have a video. It needs to just, and I can do it with this setup right now. I could. I don't know how the vocals sound. I got a microphone, but like the whole point is I need to get it out quickly, get it in and get it out. Cause I be sitting on stuff. There's tracks I've been sitting on, and then I lose them. That's the whole thing. Lose them, like the crash of 2018. Are you gonna make any more music videos from 40? Man, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. I was saying this before. When you go on dreads, there's no dreads coming, man. I'm 40. The dreads are gone. 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 Sucks. I only got 3 hairstyles. This, hat, no hat, this. But that is what it is. That is what it is. I don't know, 40, I moved on, man. That's what I always do. Every album drops. What I need to do is plan for that. So I'm all into it, and then it's just going to be like, moving on to the next. And I know I can't do that because if I don't promote it, people are going to forget it and it's just going to get buried. But I just, like, I'm on this hybrid, this new idea. I don't do trap music per se because I'm a backpack rapper. But I like trap music. Like this beat, it's not trap exactly, but it's not 40 content. It's not, like, I want to say shit like, don't, like, it's just, it's a different vibe. And, that's where I'm on now. How to capture that vibe. How to, like, I want to make some just yeah. I feel that hat, no hi hat. This how that was. What? This hat, no hat. No, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's my fault. All throughout my life, I did nothing. Maybe it's genetics, but I wasn't. I wore a hat every day in high school. I'll try to find a picture to post. If you're on Instagram, I'll post it there. So I wasn't doing anything. So, like, I wasn't brushing and 360 waving it. But yeah, it is what it is. But I'm working on a system. This kind of goes back if you've been following this long. Melodic math. So they just had a system. Hit Factory is actually the book I was reading, and hit factories throughout the years. Like we had the Hit Factory. I don't know the names of the people, but the person who wrote the songs for um, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, da, 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 The Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland. I know that part. I just don't know who wrote this, because that's how it is. We never know who writes these songs. But they were writing all the songs for that time period, and then you move on. I don't know if you call it a hit factory, but the one who wrote the song for Family Matters, it's a rare condition this day and age. Da-da. That's not Family Matters, but on that time slot, there was a couple of TV shows that had the same writer. Then you keep going, and you have like Babyface. He wrote a lot of songs for Boyz II Men. And then you had Puff Daddy, that whole hit. They were called the Hit Factory. And then you have different producers of the times. You had, let's see, Babyface. Then you had the Cash Money. Then you had the Swiss Beats. Timberland, Neptunes. So these are all like hit factories. They got a formula. It all sounds the same. There was an article with Pharrell saying, he was saying something. He was asked, how do you keep your style original? And he's like, you got to keep changing it up, man. You just can't be doing the same thing. And I was just thinking, but all your shit sounded the same that I heard on the radio. I mean, he does a lot of stuff, but yeah. So I need to come up with a system where I could like make it, create it, push it out, and repeat. I have the system. It's slowly getting built into place. Like I could make a track in 3 seconds. I say 3 seconds. I can do it in 3 seconds because all I've been doing for the past year since Corona hit was managing all my samples. I got them in folders. I was telling some. I was talking about it before. I got my samples in folders. They're by key, by genre. They're in a logical order. So I know if I want a crazy hi hat, hey, look, it's a praying mantis. If I want a hi hat, I know the folder that it's in. If I want a boom bat hi hat, if I want a jazz hi hat, if I want a trap hi hat, they're all got their own little folders and so on. It's massive. It's like all my samples now. We're saying like every sample I have, including Ableton and Native Instruments, it takes up a 2 TB of space. It's up there. That's a lot of samples. On my iPad, I got 1 TB of space. There's about 900 gigs of samples, random samples. I'm making a system that would mirror someone with a record collection. So, like, you go into their house and they got all these records categorized by however they categorize it. And they know what they need when they need it. And I just started to do that system. So I can make a beat really quickly because I know what I want and I know where it is. And yeah, yeah. Yo, I'm going to run this by you. I was thinking about this yesterday. What do you think of NFTs? Everyone's been talking about them. But what do you think about them? Like, like one NFT I was thinking of is I could make a. Have you been sampling rock songs? I sample everything, but I don't sample like famous songs anymore, because like I mentioned before, Instagram hit me with a this song is no longer going to be played. YouTube, cause I used to do it back in the day. Every now and then they'd be like, you're not in trouble, but this song has violated. And that shit's annoying. At one point they flagged me. I got flagged like a bunch of times for old songs. They're like, we're gonna demonetize your channel. I don't make any money from my channel like that, but I do like my pennies. So they're like, you're no longer monetized because you got flagged. I'm like, listen, man, how can I know what I did in the past? I pulled out every stop. I hit them on every type of argument. Listen, man, you tell me what it is, I'll take it down. Clearly, I don't do that anymore, but your rules changed. So after like all this, they reinstated me, but that shit scares me. So what I've been doing is finding sample royalty or license samples that have that vibe. So I got a bunch of samples from rock era ish. Like they're just specifically rock. That has the guitar. Yesterday I just picked up. It's a sample pack from like Mexico or some shit. They got them crazy ass guitars. I sat down to make music, but I ended up talking. That's what always happens to me. Got classical. I got synth. Like after I did the golden era, YouTube ended in 28. Man, I don't know what that sound is. That sound needs to go somewhere. But yeah, the golden era of everything. There was a time back in YouTube time, where there was no rules. But there was rules. Is that it was YouTube didn't care. They were losing money, and they were just like do whatever. They had money set aside to get sued, like retainers, like because you know how you can't really post a TV show, but back in the day, TV shows were on there. If if they came at them like, all right, well, we got to pay. Like they were ruthless, man. Now they don't do that, and they try to they their TikToking thing. I get sucked into these TikToks. I'll be like, oh, there's one I've been seeing. There's a bunch I've been seeing. They make no sense to me, and I'm not even going to talk about it because it is what it is. All right, we're gonna walk back. We're gonna go home. You know why? 'Cause I gotta work on music. Man, the music. Wow. But yeah, NFTs. So NFTs are like these limited edition, fungible, fungible, fungus, tangible. But mine's gonna be new freestyle tape NFT. That's me first. I don't care who does it next. New freestyle tapes. YouTube ended way before 28. Google brought it them and it went downhill. So that's how it is, man. I mean, when I was in business school, we read the business cases about Google and their acquisitions. They're just trying to make money. Like when Facebook brought Instagram, they're looking at things that we weren't even thinking about. It's their business. Like you can't hate on them for that. You can't hate on the creators who sold it. Like, hey, we're gonna give you $2 billion to just go away. You want our money or not? Because being an independent maker of whatever costs money, and you get that payday. Immediately, you changing brackets. Like if someone were to come in and be like, "Yo, man, I love what you do. We want to syndicate your ass. We want to give you a satellite." It would be a little different. Cause now I got a budget. I would flex a little more. And I'm pretty sure like they'd be like, "What happened to Ryman? He used to be such a humble guy, and I used to fuck with him, and now he's just unfuckable with." Oh, cause they just gave me like $8 billion to just validated. I want to talk about that validation. They gave me $8 million that validated that I am who I am and don't change. And then I would be like going off like, "Hey man, you know who I am?" Like a Puff Daddy yelling at. But I'm not there yet, so I'm just gonna be on the other side, as you see. But um, so I would make like a freestyle tape, non-fungible. I'm working out the details. It'll just be there when it is there. But it would be like me doing what I always do, but this tape, it's a one-off. All the beats, all the freestyle, even the visuals or the location would be unique to that tape. And I wouldn't copyright it in the sense, because I could flag it. I have this power as a creative Actually, anyone can do it. But if I put up a song and you start playing it on your thing, I could have them take it down on some dick shit. Yo, that's my song. I don't want you. But I wouldn't do it with this tape. This tape would be yours. You can even make money from it. I don't know the details, and I don't know how much money anyone could make from a tape from a person that no one really knows outside of the circle of people who know me, but it would be just a one-off. So I don't know. And it's one of those things where I could tell people about it, and they're not really going to be like digging it until other people start doing it. And that's, again, my issue, man. I just be on some. Now, I'm pretty sure someone else somewhere in the world has thought of this. I mean, Wu-Tang did it with their one album. They they kind of pioneered it. Yeah, that's basically my concept right there. But they're Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang forever. Yo, someone just sent me this video. It's a 40-minute video of, I think it's only New York rappers. No, because there was Bun B. So it's just rappers from that time period rapping for 40. They get like a 16 bar, and they're just rapping going in. It's It's cool to see them. I didn't watch all of it because I was walking to work, and it's 40 minutes. But it's cool to see because it's like hip hop, but it's not. It's like Papoose is on there, right? Papoose is the dude who's always doing stuff with numbers and alphabets. Astronomical backhanding cats done did it every time the freestyle goat happens to engulf the fire. That's what he does. More power to him. But he was still doing that. So a lot of the rappers, whatever they did is what they're still doing, which is cool to see, but it's like it's 10 years, 20 years later, you're still doing that. But then it's like, do what you do. I wouldn't want to see him doing remixes with Megan the Stallion. I mean, he can. I mean, they could have some relationship where that happens and that, but I don't want to see that per se. Yeah, maybe I would. I don't know. I'd have to hear it to know if I co-sign it, but you know what I'm saying. So it's dope. It's a bunch of oh shit. That is yo. Look at this. I mean, I'm showing you this, but I don't know if you want to see it. Look at that. It's an animal, like a cat. That's like. Let me get off of that. That's on some post-apocalyptic looking. Like it would have to have been there for like a good. I don't know how long that takes. That's kind of scary. You never know what you're gonna find on the Ryman Gaijin morning walks. Man. All right, let me jump into where validation, 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 valedictorian. But validation, it's a warning sign. It warned me death is in the air. So apparently, one of my students, 12 years old, he's like, uh, the coronavirus, there's 2,800 cases in Tokyo. And he's telling me this. I don't follow that shit. But I was asking, cat looking a little hungry. Yeah, that cat needs a hug. Needs some milk. Needs some milk. But the Tokyo's having the Olympics, and the cases of coronaviruses are increasing. It seems like a no-brainer. Like I've been to some spots. Like I went to any event, creative events. Once you walk through that door, no one got a mask on. They're just like, we're creatives. We don't wear masks. Bars are sneaking. They're on some prohibition shit. You can't have alcohol, but I'm pretty sure they'd be doing that. Kids, I got these two little kids outside my house. Every time they come out, they ain't wearing no mask, and they just doing what kids do. So it's like, yeah. I don't know. I don't follow it. I just be out here walking and talking, walking and talking, talking and walking. But yeah, man, today, so I was supposed to go home, but I ended up walking in this direction. We're going to go down here. And I was talking about validation, validation, validation. I think one of the core strengths of me, I mean, we all need validation. That's one of the tactics in the book. Like some people need approval. That's how you control them. Which is, it's the way he explained it is so, like some people need someone to be like, good job, Johnny. If you say bad job, Johnny, he's gonna be all depressed and upset for a long time. I don't really need anyone to tell me good job, bad job, because I know if I'm doing a good job or not. You know, I try my best. If I'm doing my best, then it's good. And then, you know, some people, if you compliment them, like if you were to say, Matthew, and this is what happens when someone tells me, Matthew, you inspire me, Matthew, you're my hero, Matthew, da-da-da-da. I don't know how to react to that because I'm just doing what I do. Not, for any praise, just, and that's how I'm wired. But some people are not wired like that. You tell them you did a good job, and they feel good. I don't feel good. I just like, but now I'm trying to acknowledge that, so I'll throw in a thank you. I appreciate that, which is hard. I came a long way, but everyone's different in that sense. Some people want to be praised in public, like on stage, and now coming to the stage is such and such. Some people want to be praised behind the scenes. Hey, I just wanted to, just let you know that such and such. Some people want to get praised by the roundabout method. Yo, I heard from Johnny again. I heard from Johnny that you're like really on top of your game. That's what's up. I prefer that one. Like if someone's like, yeah, like the other day, someone tried to hire me for a gig, and I'm like, I don't even know how you got my number. It's just random. I know I'm on YouTube and I have links, but I don't know where you came from. And at the end, he's like, yeah. So and so said like you're one of the best freestylers in Japan, and I'm like, so and so, shit, because I ain't talked to so and so for a long time. So when so and so said such and such, I was just like, shit. But that's how I like to hear it. Like my first my first feeling was I gotta hit up so and so and be like, shit. But I was like, nah, we don't even talk. I haven't talked to so and so for a minute. So I'm just gonna have to wait till I see so and so. But yeah, that's me. But we're all wired differently. So validation works differently. So I have a kind of bubble where even if I don't want to say even if, but let's say that no one was watching this. I don't even know if anyone's watching it. Maybe it's just people put the phone down. I don't know. But let's say no one's watching this. I'd still be talking because that's just me. I like hearing myself talk to myself. I, in fact, if I wasn't recording this, I'd still be talking like this to myself. That's why sometimes I'd be like, did I say that on live or did just listening to my thoughts? But some people, they would already been gone. They would have signed on. All right, no one's there. I'm out. Especially if they're trying to compare themselves to, like, I'd be on Insta and I see someone's on, random blue check mark person. And then you click on it to see what they're doing. And they're doing what I'm doing, but there's like 8 billion people in their little stream. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it's just like, wow, wow. But I don't really want 8 billion people. Like, this is manageable. Like, 11 people right now, we can have like a real conversation. We could talk or whatever. 8 billion people, it's gonna, yo, he just looked at that dog weird. He's an animal. He kills animals. He eats animals. He eats animals. Someone jumps in there. Yeah, the man eats animals. He's a Hannibal animal lector. Oh, he tells them bad jokes. He's a dad. He's a dad. He got kids. Like it would just spiral in that kind of direction. I can't deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. I want to manage as much as it could be managed. So yeah, this is my spot. Plus, I have no damn training for this. Media training. Like in the book Hit Factory, they also talked about K-pop and how if you're into K-pop, you know they're so composed, they're so put together well, packaged. So they know the answers to questions. Everything is just Japan does it too. I mean, maybe politicians do it. Kind of media training. There's a set thing, there's certain questions you can ask. You can see this on Breakfast Club. When they respect the artist, they stay away from those questions. When they don't care for the artist, they just go right on in. Oh, so you don't write your raps, huh? You got a number one, but you didn't write it. But then when someone else comes on here who's trash, they just, oh my gosh, you got a number one, knowing he didn't write it. And he might even say, yeah, I wrote that in 3, but you didn't. We know you didn't, because they know. They do their diligence, they check. But yeah. So my next book that I just bought. So I got money, a little bit of money, but I still don't be buying audiobooks. I treat it like a library. read the book, and then return it and get another book. So the next book I'm reading is How Not to Die Alone. 'Cause I used to say that. My mom used to say this, when I used to fight with my friends in like elementary. She's like, listen, I didn't bring your friend into the world. You came into the world alone and you're going to die alone. I want to say she didn't say it like that, but I think she did. And it wasn't on some, just stop crying over that shit, you know? So I kind of took that to heart. I'm a lone wolf. But I don't want to be a lone wolf. I mean, Iron Man was a lone wolf. Oh, no, he wasn't. He was a lone wolf with a lot of money. Money helps. People kind of gravitate to that. But yeah, I'm a lone wolf. Woo! But I don't want to die. That situation is not ideal. So I'm drinking this like it's a 40. Is that how you drink 40s in a bag? I don't know. I think. This is how you drink water? Like this? Do you drink? Yeah. How many Karens? Let's see. Live chat. How many Karens have you ran into this year? Karen. None. I mean, I'm in Japan. I'm sure there's, I guess the equivalent would be Keiko. How many Keikos? But I keep my head down. I don't, I don't, I don't bother nobody. Nobody bothers me. I mean, there's this one lady who I don't know her per se, but I was walking one day with my iPad like this, and she saw me, and she scurried away. Maybe she thought I was. I mean, maybe for sponsorship, I just need to be more. What's the word? More consistent. Like I'd have to make videos every day, not every day, but once a week at least. Which I used to do that before sponsorship was a thing. Now it's a thing, but it's not something I would. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out the. I mean, right now I'm on vacation, so I could do this stream at this time. If I wasn't if it was normal time, I would. Actually, it's 6:40, so I'd still be good. Do it before work, I guess. But it'd be nice to be sponsored, because I haven't been sponsored before. Just another feather in the cap. Yeah, mom, I'm sponsored. What's that mean? Someone gives me something. I mean, people have thrown it out there, but it was on some shady shit. Yo, man, here I ain't even gonna talk about it. It was just that's not what I do on this channel, so don't offer me that kind of option. But it'd be cool, man. There's a dude I follow. He uses the machine, and I remember when I used the machine, we were like one of the first people to be using it. And then we kind of connected back on Instagram, and I still see he's still using the machine. It's still doing what he does, and he they sponsor. I don't know if they sponsor him, but when they sent him the new beat machine that came out, the standalone, they just send it to him. Here, do what you do here. And I'm like, damn, if I would have kept doing what I did, maybe I would have been getting a free beat machine. I mean, they cool, man. Shout out to Native Instruments. A while ago, I got like 4 Native Instruments. I gotta buy the upgrades, but he gets free. And like, I was gonna, I sold one, and and um, and I try to be slick because they're having this 50% off of upgrades for the complete. And so I bought it. So I upgrade my shit every, I guess they make an update every year. So I buy it every off year. So basically it comes in like they upgrade it with a bunch of shit you really don't need. I know I don't need it, but you just want it. It'll be like $400, $500. And then they do the thing. If you were to buy each one individually, it'd be like $8,000, which would, but no one ever would buy it individually because you know that they're going to make a kind of package every year. And then at the end of the year, they have this 50% off sale where you can get the same $8 million for like an upgrade for like $150. So I did it. I got my 150 upgrade. Again, a bunch of shit I may not ever use, but I wanted it. And then I sold my beat machine and I try to upgrade that to kind of spice up the deal, spice up the package. So dude bought it. And then he was like, yo, can you send me the serial number? Because I was shipping the machine to him. He's like, can you send me the serial number in advance? I was nervous because once you have the serial number, you basically got the product. The beat machine was an old version, like we're on Mark 3, that was like a Mark 1.5. So you really didn't need the machine, but the sounds and all that. But I had to trust him. It's Japan, I guess. I don't know. So I sent him the serial, and he's like, yo, it didn't work. So I contact Native, and they're just like, yeah, you need to have the base product with it. So the first dude's like, here, just do this, and you're good to go. So I send the thing to the guy. It doesn't work. So the next day, maybe she was a Karen. I get a Karen. She's like, yeah, you can't do that. May I help you with anything else? I'm like, I'm sorry, but you didn't help me at all, ma'am. I'm like, can't we do something? And we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And eventually, I just kept throwing out random things, like reading through the manual, reading through the legal shit, and then coming up with workarounds. And finally, one workaround, like, can't you just upgrade the third product of the fifth product on the sixth day after the 17th morning? And maybe it made sense, or she just got tired of me being relentless. And she's like, yeah, you can. So I ended up being able to upgrade, and all this is like in one day. And I was able to give the dude the cereal. I actually lost money. I'm not saying I'm a good guy, but I didn't want to cancel and I didn't want to screw him over. So the profit I would have made, uh, was decreased by, because the upgrade I had to pay an extra $100 so he can get. But anyway, the point is, Native Instruments, they're solid. They helped me out. They answered the questions. Yeah, and their products are good. They they got that craziness, which incidentally is crazy because I was getting all shit popped into my iPad this, iPad that, and then I upgraded to complete. I don't know what they are now, which is not iPad compatible. But them sounds are crazy. Let me get out of here though. Let me see. It's a live chat. Bam. Try. This is a 2-year-old question. Did you ever get your bag back? Yeah. I got my bag back. Um, the next day. Yeah, that's Japan for you, man. It was just an annoyance because the next day I'm like, um, you found my bag? Like, yeah, we found your bag. It's at the station. I'm like, cool. Can you send it? Can you put the bag on the train, and I'll come. I'll pick it up at my station. Like, we can't do that. We can mail it to you. They'll take about 2 weeks. I said, "Oh, excuse me? You're gonna mail my bag, and it's gonna take 2 weeks when you could just put it on a train?" and we're going back and forth, and I'm just like, come on, man. It's Japan. You got Shinkansens that go like so fast, bullet trains. You got all this technology, and you're gonna snail mail that? So I'm like, I'll just come and get it. And then when I got there, like, listen, 'cause it was like 2 hours out of my way out in the countryside. But like, it's just dope, man. Everything was in there. Like, I had a GoPro, a 360, a notebook, and I think my laptop was in there. Yeah, because I was making a video. I had my mic and my camera, so when I hopped off the train, I was ready to go into rhyme mode. I just left my bag. But what I've done now, I have an AirTag from Apple, which I usually leave at home anyway. But when I do bring it, basically the AirTag you can track it. I haven't used it, and I just assume it works because that's what it's supposed to do. That you can just see it moving along on the map, which is dope. But for the most part, I never take my bag off on the train, or I put my leg through it, or somehow I just make sure it's with me. Because I did lose one bag, two bags, like maybe 10, 12 years ago. I lost my passport, and maybe 6 years ago, I lost another bag, which had my notebook, and there was nothing in there. It was just my bag and my rhyme notebook, and they never found it, which is weird because I've, in general, always got my shit back. But yeah, yo, man, Monster Streams. Ooh, right now would have been music. I think I need to plan how I'm gonna put the music in there because I don't. Right now, I don't know. Let me think. If I have music, if I had music, because I don't want it to be. I don't think they will. Is it possible to block a stream as it's going live? Like if I started to play some Disney music, would they be like, "Nah, that's Disney. You're out. Mute the audio." I guess we could do some tests. I'm not gonna do any Disney music, but I do got a sample pack that's based on cartoon music, which is dope. I somehow I managed to buy the pack twice, and when I was looking through it, I'm like, "These are the same damn files." And I hit them up. They're like, "Yeah, it is," and they refunded me. Like I love customer service that's like that. You know, we did you wrong, and here you go. Most people, most businesses are like that. That's good business practice. But one time I did get hit with a, a shady business. I mean, I was doing shade. Well, you know those sites where it's like, if you pay, you can download, you can watch videos for free. Not like a Hulu, but just like one of those sites. So they can shut down a stream. Yeah, like I'm so, I like, I guess because I'm 40. I had this conversation with other artists. I guess age doesn't matter because they stick to their point. Like, yo, man, I sample, but you know what? It's hip hop, and they shouldn't be. Like, dude, it's copyrights. If someone made the music, they're entitled to get their pennies. Wouldn't you want the pennies that you're that you made? So about a year ago, as I mentioned, I got rid of all my. I used to have this huge collection of samples that I've been like dragging around for like years, but I got rid of all of them. I mean, they're still there on some hard drive, but they're not updated anymore. But here's the second thing or here's the next problem. I'm lost. We're gonna go up this way. I think this is right. I don't know. So when you use sample packs, you get three issues. One, the sample packs are usually copyrighted or they're flagged. So if you use a sample pack as is, like you don't flip it or chop it, you're still going to get the same message. You are using copyrighted content, which was the first time that happened to me. I'm like, what the hell is that? I paid for this. I got the stupid little legal documentation saying I have the right to use it in these. So you got to send that, and they're like, okay, and they just reverse whatever, which is cool, but annoying. So that's one issue. The second issue is if two people happen to have the same sample pack, and that person makes the song, flips it, and then he or she tries to hit you with the copyright infringement, they can. And then again, you would just have to be like, I have the same sample pack, buddy. But that's annoying. Plus, now you have someone who has the same music as you. Now, my way to avoid that from happening is one, I got lots of sample packs. So I mix the sample packs. Take a this from a that and take a this from a this. So the chances that someone has both of those sample packs, I flip them. The hard part at first was one, the stigma. I mean, again, I think this is the wrong channel for that, but you know, y'all do music, or you know who I am. But the stigma, like when you use a sample pack, the purists will be like, "Ugh, oh my gosh, you're using a sample pack," and they go on in on you, and you feel bad as a producer because you didn't do anything. You just took a sample pack. But it's no different than if I took a James Brown loop and flipped that. That's okay. There's rules to this shit. And if you break the rules, people are gonna. I mean, there's a video of Timberland using sample packs and going on about it. Anyway, rambling about that. But it's just one of those. It's validation. Like last night, I was walking around taking some pictures with my phone because the iPhone 11 or 12, I don't know when it started, but it just got this crazy ass night HDR. I don't even know what it's doing. All I know is when you take the picture at night, it just looks really crisp. It looks better than my DSLR. DSLR. So when I post that, I could imagine someone's like, "Oh, that's a nice picture. How you take it?" I'm like, "I took it with my iPhone." Ugh, you're not a photographer. You're an iPhone, and then, like there'd be a distinction made. Like if the picture looks nice, the picture looks nice. But I'm not doing anything. Whereas if I use my DSLR, I'm like setting up and doing my things. Like I'm in manual mode, trying to da da da. Here, all I did was take the picture, and the AI in there is like. But yeah. All right, where we at here? Where we at? Ba-ba-ba, 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 ba-ba-ba. J. Cole. All right. Technically, technically, it's moving faster than I can age. Technology is moving. Is that what you're saying? One thing about my phone, it's something wrong with the light. I can't see shit in the daytime. Technically, it's moving faster than I can age. You know, I did this. I think I was talking about last week. So the Wright brothers, right? The Wright brothers, right? They they want to fly airplanes. They want to fly like birds. And at that time, it was unheard of. You fly kites, and there's people who probably did balloons, shit, whatever. But no one was flying in a man-powered vehicle. And people were like, just not believing it could be done. So that was 1900. The dates might be fuzzier, but 1900. They do their epic flight for 12 seconds. They're flying under their own power. And Kitty Hawk. I only know all that because that was the lesson. Anyway, so look at this. This is random, but it's a condom box. 500 yen for some condoms. Interesting. Is this a random place to have a condom vending machine? Hey, dear, can you run out there and get some condoms? Yes. Which brand would you like? At least they're safe. Along the same lines, there was this article that said that Tokyo having the Olympics, Corona this, Corona that, they're not serving alcohol, and they're no, wait, alcohol is okay after the events, but they're not giving out condoms to any of the people. I'm scratching my head. They gave condoms out? Is that what's happened? Is that why people get all into the Olympics to get that free condom? Do I go this way? Do I go that way? We're gonna go this way. Now I really can't see. The lights all over my face and the phone. But the Wright brothers, they did their flight. That's 1900. In 1920, Amelia Earhart, first woman to fly. I forget the record she broke, but she was the first woman. That's 20 years. In 20 years, we went from what the Wright brothers are doing and their death trap. Go Google that. They're like flying high up in the sky, no helmet, no protection, no parachute. Like if shit went south, they're dead. But that's what they had to do to get shit moving. 20 years later, they're flying in like regular planes. And I think, let's see, 40 years later, we go to the moon. Like shit. But then, after some point, our innovations became, and then Google or internet. Google. No, maybe internet. MySpace. Facebook. Twitter. TikTok. Like those are, and then, computers and all that. Streaming. Like it's moving faster, but who just went to space? I forget his name, but dude just went to space. But the gap between those innovations I thought that was interesting. Time compressing. I can't see anything. I apologize. Maybe I gotta check. It could be my case. When I got my iPhone, right? It's beautiful. They got the little metal thing on the outside. It's really beautiful to look at. But it's all glass. And it would really irk me if there's a scratch on that metal thing, if the screen got cracked. So I got it in this case that's like this bulletproof case. But the case is just, it hides the beauty of the iPhone. Like you watch their little TV ads or whatever, it's like, and it's made and it's this. My case makes it look like a brick, walking around with a brick. But this brick is not gonna, I'm lost. Or I'm walking in circles. I'm walking in circles, oh my gosh. I mean, I know, man. All right, we're just gonna keep moving this way. I feel like I'm walking away because I walk this way when I come home from work. So it looks familiar, but I think my direction is off. But we're good, man. I got all day. You'll be like, I'm gonna go to bed, and you wake up, I'm still walking around lost. Yeah. Like this is in an alternate reality. I would be doing this every day, but in different places. Like you log in or you click on sign in and be like, where you at now? I'm over in Hawaii, just walking around. And the next time I'm over in Italy. That'd be kind of cool. We gotta make that happen. The adventures. I would like to be traveling in that kind of sense. I think this is where I need to be. Lost in Japan, lost in the world, making beats. All right, we're here. I can see again. Out of the light. Blinded by the light. Damn, my space, my mad technology. See you sample that. Yo, man, I can sample anything. In fact, I'm not gonna get into what I've been working on, what I'll be sampling, but I'll be sampling. Is that a live? Ain't nothing live. Sample. I got this one program. I got all the programs, but there's one program that the movements of your body, your heartbeat, your breathing, the way you walk, it turns it into a signal, it turns it into data, MIDI, and then you could run that MIDI into a program to make music. I hadn't tested out yet. That shit is complicated. It's a cheap app, like $10. Maybe that's not cheap, but it's $10 and it does all this, but it's complicated. It takes the data from your watch, if you have a Bluetooth watch. Some Bluetooth headphones could work, so the movement of your head, like that. I get excited about that shit. I got emulations of emulations. I got a program that it converts light into music. So the different light patterns will make it different sounds. And the idea is I'm gonna sample all that into some crazy shit. But I ain't done it. Like I see when I wake up, see a new app, buy it, and I forget about it, move on. Cause it's seductive, man. I'm a hoarder of apps. But when I do get around to playing with that app, we get along really well. Where am I? I don't know. I think I'm just following my feet. Let's see if my mind memory is gonna work. I feel like, because when I be listening to my audiobooks, I just be walking. But this feels familiar. We'll find out in a few seconds or a few minutes. But yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this feels familiar. I don't know. Japan has this thing where everything kind of looks the same. Like like if you ever go out, come to Japan and be like, "Yo, meet me at McDonald's." There's a chance that there's a McDonald's on each end of the block. Meet me at the 7-Eleven. There's probably one of those. Meet me at the parking lot. Things just kind of double up like that. Now you could use what do you call it? Geomap or location. But even then, yeah, might still end up in. But yeah, I want some background music. I'm lost. You know what? There's a location I want to freestyle around. This kit right here is the Wakanda kit. I think they made it when Black Panther came out. And they just made a bunch of these kind of things. Let's see here. An iPad mini would work. I mean, an iPad Pro just works too, but taking up my, let's see here. Man, I'm hearing so many things right now. Like one thing I've been, good morning. Man, can't wait to get home. I'm excited. Excited. So one thing, my music processes. I've been reading. It's like reading books on how they make their music, other producers and all that, and it inspires me. I test it out, and a lot of times you don't even got to be complicated with what you're doing. You just need to. You just need to do it. Look at the dog, all fuzzy. So I guess the other day I was like, cause I got like a billion sounds, right? And I was trying to add more to it, just keep adding. Oh, I can add this, add this. Nothing was working. So I'm like, why don't I just filter it, you know? And that did the trick. Just keep it simple. I want to say I'm close to my house. I hope I'm close to my house, but there's a chance I'm in the opposite direction because I don't know where I am. But been walking for an hour and a half. 300 calories burned, says my watch. You know, the cool thing about walking like this, right? When I do get home and eat my breakfast, like I just felt like I accomplished something for the day. I mean, I'm gonna do much more than that, but the day just started, but I already did something. I mean, I was telling my coworker, she's like, "What time you get up?" I'm like, I get up at 5. She's like, "Oh shit, I got up at 10 because we have to work at 11." I get it, but just having the day to do stuff, I can even just chill. Like I found out that one of the sitcoms I'm watching is Rick and Morty and The Flash. And after Corona hit, I just thought they were like canceled or on whatever. But I found I missed like 8 or 9 episodes, so I could get to watch. I can't even watch a whole episode now, like 40 minutes. I watch 20 minutes and then I do something, and then watch the next 20 minutes tomorrow. 'Cause I just don't want to be sitting there not doing something, especially because I work a lot. So anytime I have a free time, I want to do something to get closer. Like right now, what I need to do is um, um, I need to come up with my process, my music process. I need to work out I need to work on my website. Anybody who does websites, holler at me. I mean, I always say that, and it never works out for me. Never. But I have a website. It's up. You could go to it right now. But what you see there took me a good 2 weeks to make, 3 weeks. And I just be stressed about the whole thing. I'm not an HTML type of dude. I don't have like the super fast internet at the house. I don't even have internet at the house. I have my phone, and I only got 30 gigs of tethering on the phone, which I used up like the first week. So last night I had to like buy an extra 0.5 gig just to do something because I just could not. It needs to be online to work, and I just couldn't wait until my gigs are gonna return in 3 days, but I just wanted it now. That's a good hustle, man. Paying for data cost me $505 for a point 0.5. Anyway, so yeah, website. But it's there, man. It took me a couple weeks to get it done, and it's there. And it's been that way for the past year now. Nothing's changed. So work on that. Uh, I got to make a video for the other channel, the Messy Pro channel. I keep saying that every time I make this side, I'm like, I want to make one for that side, but then I do something else. I got to make a plan for the summer. I'm not like plan oriented, task oriented, like, but I should be. It just I'm pretty sure I'm on the right direction. I feel like I'm where I should be. Just letting them feet walk, but just kind of because I want to do some stuff. Like everyone's different, but the whole wait and see what's going to happen approach. Sometimes nothing happens, but if you knew what you should be doing, you may get there a little quicker. So I'm gonna do that, and you'll see the result, or maybe you won't. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta call my mom. I told her I met this guy. He said he calls his mother every day, and they talk for an hour. And I'm like, that's interesting. Oh, he talks to his parents every day. I'm like, what do you talk about? And he's just like, I talk about work and I talk about this. Like, okay. I don't talk to my mom often, but when we talk until my phone dies. We haven't talked since I got my new phone, which means we might be talking forever. And we talk about random stuff. I tell her some of my. I wish I could tell her about YouTube. I might bring it up, but it's a concept that a lot of people just don't get. So what'd you do? Well, I was, streaming. What's streaming? It's when you talk to people. I mean, they know Zoom. Whatever. And and we were just talking about this, and they're asking me questions, and it was cool. And she might say, "Oh, how much money did you make?" It's like I don't do it for money. I just, I'm just talking to people, sharing my thoughts. What's the point? And I might try to make a parallel. It's like what Oprah does. She just wants to share her thoughts and empower women or people and talk about her books. Yeah, but Oprah's a millionaire. Like it comes that I can't explain the value of what I do. I don't even understand it, to be honest. Cause, but yeah, so I try to talk to her about that. We might talk about the family. I get updated on what everyone's doing. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Um, we might talk about Trump when Trump was around. We don't talk about Biden. I don't think anyone talks about Biden. He's not interesting like that. And then we might go deep. I might talk about, hey, by the way, did you know that we're all colors? Red personalities and green personalities? And then my mom, which always amazes me, she'll be able to. I know she did not read the book. I know that for a fact. She didn't go to college. She didn't study psychology or whatever. But she'll be like, yeah, and she'll be able to like understand what I'm saying and get it. She'll give examples. Yeah, it's like my grandma. You don't know grandma, and then she'll tell me about some history of the family, and I just get this warm fuzzy feeling like, man, my mom. We gotta talk more often. But then, yeah, and then she'll throw in some motherly wisdom, like I hope you're saving money. And I'll say, yeah, mom, I'm just, da 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 da. Or I'll say I'm working, and so yeah, yeah, yeah. I am home. I found we're not discussing anything. I'm just winding down. But I was talking about the plans for today after I jump off, talking to my mom, talking about I don't under talking about how it's hard to explain what I do, what I'm doing right now. People don't really get it. I don't get it. Just do it. Yeah. Check this one out. We could use this one. This might work. So let's see here. We're gonna save that, and then we're gonna come out of here. We're gonna pop out of here, pop out of there, pop out of there. This is what we should have done from the beginning. I didn't even think about it. All right, that's what I'll think about. How I can do what I'm gonna do right now. Coming down. Coming down. Where is it? Wow, it's not there. The hell? Ah, that's why, because it's not one of those. All right, here it is. Yish, yish, yish. It's not over here either. I tried. I tried. Yo, one thing well, I know this, but so Japanese kids, students, like when I was in elementary, junior high school, let's say junior high school, when it was summertime, you didn't think about school. I mean, I didn't think about school. Summer was summer. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. Even if you didn't have any plans, at least you're going to the pool every day or you're going to just do summer shit. Summer homework, you might have had it, but you didn't do it in the summer. You did it the day before school started. But in Japan, you ask a kid, what are you doing? Now, they're doing what they do, but they're going to say, I got to go to summer school, cram school, language school. I got to do my school homework. Like, they get a packet of work to do. And I was joking with the kid yesterday, like, if you do all the work on one day, now this is not the best thing, but if you did all the work at one time, then you have the rest of the summer. Like, yeah, but then I have to go to, language school. He's at a language school with me, and that's his summer. It's kind of sad in a sense, but his mind is an idle. Like, we used to, my crazy friends, we didn't have anything to do, so we would, like, just do kid stuff. Why don't we throw rocks at random bottles just because we can, because we have nothing to do? Why don't we, like, break into this random abandoned building because it's there and we have nothing to do? Most Japanese kids don't do that because they have shit to do. It's sad that that's all they're going to do, but so it's weird like that. And then the teachers, I had to go back to school yesterday to do something. Most of the teachers are there, just there, because it's like a whole system of no one has so much free time where they're just sitting around not doing anything, which keeps people busy, occupied. I don't know if that's a great thing. I want to have time to sit here and do this because I need time, right? But, each country is different. Here's a dark topic. This is random, but yesterday I was reading my book and dude said something about Chinese water torture. But he said it weirdly. He's like, you're in a bottle and you're in a barrel and a drop of water goes out every minute. But I always thought it was there's a drop of water on your head. So I checked that real quick. And my reference was what I heard of. I don't know what he was talking about. Maybe there's other ones. So I was doing some research on that. And then it kind of brought me over to the Opium War, which I was curious about that. So then Wikipedia will do that to you, or fan pages. If I'm on Marvel and I'm like, I could just be sitting there forever. But it talked about the Opium War, which don't quote me on this. I'm not a historian or anything, but it's just fucked up. Oh my gosh. So the Opium War was basically the British wanted to do business in China, or they were doing business in China. And I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But British, they wanted to do business in China. China's goods were popping off. Could you imagine me being a teacher? That's how, the Chinese goods were popping off, the silk and all that shit. Like, the kids would be laughing. He said shit. And then the British didn't like the deficit of that. They're like, yo, we're spending more money than they're buying. So then they devised a plan. Now, again, correct me if this is Wikipedia. You could see it right there. I'm not making this shit up. I'm just quoting. So then, so the British, they decided we're going to sell them opium illegally. So they started selling opium, and the Chinese government was just like, whatever. They're still going to be buying from us, so it is what it is. But then the effects of the opium started to fuck with people, right? They started, it used to be as this class of people, but then everyone started to get sucked into it. So then the Chinese government's like, we don't want you to be selling opium to us anymore. So we're not going to let your ships in. So when one of the ships came in, they were like, get the fuck out of here. And they threw stones at them. Or they did something to make the ship go. So all the merchants were like scared. Oh shit, they're throwing stones at us. So then the British came with their military power, and they shut that shit down. Like, we are gonna do what we gonna do. So then the the high official sent a letter to the Queen saying, "Listen, we really implore you to stop doing this. It's not good for us as a people." But this letter somehow got lost in translation. She never seen it, and that's basically where the war started. Like, there could be other factors, but that shit's fucked up. And then if you, and this is not conspiracy. This is just, it's one of those things. I don't remember reading about that in any history book, in any class, all the way up to college. And there's other stuff, but I don't want to get into that. But it's just, it's, man. Anyway, just wondering your fashion lately, since everyone here is skinny jeans. All right, where we at? Where we at? What are you discussing? Wicks. I had a Wicks. I don't like Wicks. What type of jeans you rocking today? Rhyming baggy loose slim jeans. Just wondering. Man, the other day I went out with a friend, female friend, coworker, and I'm like, yo, let's go shopping. You gotta help me pick out the jeans I'm gonna wear. And she picked out these skinny jeans, like tight ass. I can't fit anything inside the pocket type jeans. I don't feel comfortable wearing those kind of jeans. One, because I usually put shit in my pockets. Two, it's just, it's just, it's a little bit too form fitting for me. And I'm from that era where, so in general, I don't have any clothes. I'm usually at work, going, coming, going. So I wear sweatpants to work and sweatpants. And if I go for a walk, I got on my little shorts. That's all I wear. I'm working on that too, because a friend of mine, he's really nicely dressed all the time. I've never seen him not nicely dressed. And one day I was on the train, and he hopped on. I'm like, yo, man, you gotta take me shopping. Teach me your ways. So he sent me this little thing. He's like, the way I choose my clothes, I want people. I imagine what people will think I'm doing. I dress. So this is my, I'm going to work clothes. This is my, I'm stunting clothes. I do a lot of work with him. Like his wife and him, they hire me to take photos of their children. So I did baby showers. I did baby reveals. They had a new baby. So I've seen him and I work with him. I see him in different settings. And the man's always, like the first time I seen him, like that guy dresses, he had like a three-piece suit on at a teacher's meeting. I wanted to get a three-piece suit and I was going to, but I don't go anywhere. I'm not going to dress up for work. Let's see, live chatting. I agree. I'm baggy air. My advice, slim jeans, they're not too loose, especially since this. I mean, yeah, I got to update my fashion because Yeah, yeah. I saw this video the other day, and the video is three guys. I think he's famous. I don't know. I don't know anything about him, but he was the whole thing was about 10 point system of how to pick a. You should only have 10 point. Like they were just really going into detailed about what to wear, which was weird because I wasn't personally interested in how they were dressed. But yeah, but I want something light. I don't like wearing white clothes because they just get dirty. I'm just dirty like that. Dark clothes. I like yellows. At one point, I was gonna a couple times in my life I was gonna have someone dress me because I was reading a book way back when, and it was like these famous people have people who dress them. They don't pick out their own clothes. And I'm like, let me replicate that to have some. And I threw it out there, but it never came to fruition. Usually my girlfriends dress me. Let's see here, Patrick Patrick. When I have one, I got all my clothes from. Wow, I was playing around with the setting. They have a timeout feature. If someone says something, you could time. But how do you get to live chat here? Slim shit, I got on shoes and Shin, great cheap, great quality. I'm 35. I currently bought some. Where is it? I recently bought some, and now I long lace my sneakers. I'm sorry, just catching up. I mean, fashion. I mean, if I were to buy clothes now, like like really go out and buy some clothes, I would probably do some fitteds, like custom fit T-shirts or not T-shirts, like button-ups that are fitted. Like I would just go in that direction. Fitted jeans that are the perfect shape for your body, and pick out a color palette. So you're doing too much, yeah, but that's what I would have. That's what I would have done. But that's expensive. I mean, I could do it cheaply, but right now my focus right now is just music. I mean, they're all it's a package, but all right, where we at? Where we at? What's your call? What's your call? How did the date go, my man? The date went. The date was okay. I don't think we'll have a second date. Um, we just walked and talked. She was nice. She got a kid. I'm not against being a stepdaddy, but that's not ideal. Um, that's really all I could say, man. I wasn't. I mean, we could be friends. Like I was thinking that one. I could see myself just hanging out with her to walk around and talk about nothing in particular. But she's not the one. Yo, you read notes? I think you. All right, cool, cool, cool. Let me flash that into my memory because I'll forget it. Let's see what's it called. Uh, Murakami, Norwegian Wood. Murakami. I haven't read it, but you just made my. I mean, I got a whole library of books I got to read, but yeah. All right, guess what, folks? We are back to when we started. We did a whole loop. If you could remember all that. How much time? 1 minute? 124 minutes? Oof. Time for breakfast. Let's see, what time is it? 7:35. I've been talking for like 2 hours. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna stop right here. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do these once a week until back to work. I'm gonna work out the music system. Maybe have some background music. See if we could podcast this up. And yeah, As always, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, listening to me ramble about this, that, and the third. Yeah. So be safe. Enjoy your night. Yeah. And let me just. I'm happy to be alive and well. I'm blessed in that regards. There's some sick people who are, but yeah. Be safe. Best of health. Same to y'all. And love and peace. I like that one. I could end on that. Love and peace. I might have to steal that. I'm going to end on it. Love and peace. All right, we out. Peace. All right, Davis. Where's this? Kashon